Tribune Racing League. I'm being joined by Luson.
Hello guys, good to be back after the bad, horrible year last year, but we're in a brand new year, 2021, and we're looking forward to this year and trying to have a positive start.
Well, what a great way to start the new year. Hopefully everything goes smoothly today. We kind of need a smooth race. Anyway, we do have some favorites for some bets here. Obviously, as far as polls go, Fructose Alarm in the Alfa Romeo has gotten 2 out of the 3 polls this season, so he is definitely a favorite. As long as Gunther Steiner as well, who got the first poll at round 1 in Australia. As for wins, we have had 3 different race winners, if I can find it. Yeah, so we've had Thermal Aberker, Fructose Alarm, and Dylan, who have all won a race, so who knows what is going to happen here today. We are going to start in just a few seconds. I apologize that the stream started up a little late. We had some technical difficulties with the lobby, drivers not getting into the right car, some drivers being kicked, figuring out the reserves. But we're here nonetheless, so... It should be a very, very interesting race today, as we finally are in the qualifying session. If anybody in the... I'm going to be honest, I have not tested my audio before this stream, so if anybody can tell me if the audio gets jacked up or anything, just type it in the chat. That would be great. And, yeah, let's get this show on the road. And you may be able to hear my mouse in the background because I do not have a mouse pad. Stream should be working, right? Hello?
Yeah, it's working, I believe.
Okay. 7 people watching, there we go. We should be good to go any second now. Anyway, we do have overcast conditions for today's race. So it's going to be a completely dry race. Nobody has to worry about any rain. As my audio is not working. My game audio is not working. I really do apologize. That's not... There we go. Now it's working. Okay. Yeah, so... We do have Beans F1, the Instagrammer, out on the track first. First one out on track out of anybody. So, yeah, if anybody thinks the game volume is too loud or too quiet, please tell me in the chat. Again, I did not test my audio before this. Rookie mistake. Gunther Steiner, a possible contender for the win and pole position, has finally gotten into the lobby, so great to see that. Just ups the competition. This is on strict corner cutting, right?
Yes, I do believe so.
Okay, yeah. Beans just went super wide at turn 5. He didn't get an invalidation for it, so... It's a little weird. Track limits can be a little fuzzy. Somebody in the chat says Beans will win. I don't know, man. Who knows?
Ooh, looks like a favorite then.
Everybody, put your predictions in the chat. You know, we have a lot of very good drivers, very competitive drivers. This tier is very, very competitive. As Beans comes around the final corner, he will be the first one to start his flying lap in the Mercedes. As he comes across the line now, he will have an Alfa Romeo right there. Alfa Romeo stays out of the way very kindly. And, yeah, we do have an AlphaTauri, I believe that was Toast, crossing the line to start his flying lap. And Beans, unfortunately, not even past turn 3, he has already invalidated his lap, and he briefly backs out of that. I can hear the stream in your mic, by the way. Dylan is also on a flying lap, so see Dylan here. I believe he's on a wheel. Looks like he's on a wheel. Going through turn 3. Easy flat-out corner. The Ferrari getting in the way a little bit. That might have cost him about half a tenth or so. But, yeah, that is a purple Sector 1 for Dylan. Dylan got the win, I believe, last time out in Netherlands, at Zandvoort. So, I'm gonna...
Yeah, he did. Final 2 laps.
Yeah, so,
Got the overtake job done.
He's probably going to come in with a lot of confidence into this weekend, as he's really not maximizing track limits. There definitely is a lot of time to improve on this lap, but he does get a purple second sector, as we should see the Alfa Romeo crossing the line of Fructose Alarm now. So he is starting his first flying lap, and I believe Toast comes across the line. He sets a 1:17.0. So that is what Dylan needs to beat. What is this lap going to be? Dylan getting all loosey-goosey out of the final chicane, coming around the final corner, getting a little bit of a distant tow from Sken Islen. And he goes 7/10 clear of Toast F1 and P2. He goes P1 with a 1:16.237. The Renault of Sken goes into P3 with a 1:18.4, as A. Williams gets held up there just a little bit. So that could have cost him time.
Beans just gets the fastest Sector 1.
Beans.
Let's see, I believe he's on his second
Ooh.
lap. Well, he gets fastest Sector 1.
He did get fastest Sector 1, but he did lose a lot of time, went deep into turn 5. And that is another lap invalidated, running wide at turn 6, 7, and 8. Unfortunately for him there. And, yeah. Thermal Burker did a 1:15.4. Great lap from Thermal Burker. Not sure that's Tier 2 pace. I think that's borderline Tier 1 pace, but okay. Watch Skeptic's lap. Let's look at Skeptic's here. He is being held up currently by a Renault, so that's going to cost him dear into the braking zone at the hairpin at the start of Sector 3. Ooh, got on that curb a little bit. Don't want to get on the curb of death there. And, yeah, going through the final couple of corners. This is really where your tires start to overheat. Really have to chuck the car into these corners, maximizing the exit off this final corner. Coming across the line out of the RS2, and he goes P5 with a 1:16.9. I'm just going to pronounce that Red Bull as Verlies. Verlies. Oh, as we have Archery in the Ferrari, the first retirement of this session. He has absolutely clobbered the barrier coming out of turn 9, I believe. That's a very odd incident for the Ferrari there. Very unfortunate for him. Fructose Alarm, I don't know what happened to Fructose Alarm. Everybody is on soft tires, sorry, feta cheese. Except for that other car guy in the McLaren who comes across the line. He goes P9 with a 1:17.2. He's probably going to look to improve. But he will have a very preferred strategy. He will have the superior strategy by quite a margin here at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, because honestly, the soft tires last 5 laps, 6 laps at max, 7 laps if you're really pushing it. But yeah, it's definitely I believe half these drivers are going to go onto a 1-stop. Half of them are going to go on to a 2-stop. 2-stop would be preferable for me, at least. I think that's what I'm going to do tomorrow in Tier 1. But who knows? Who knows? This Fructose Alarm, I think, is on a controller here, just by judging by those movements. So very fast controller player here. Going to maximize that turn just a little bit more, but that's okay. As Gunther Steiner in the other Red Bull goes P4, so he's definitely going to want to improve on that time, as he knows he can get onto that front row with a Burker and Dylan. And Fructose Alarm as well should be up there. Scanis Len comes out for another flying lap. So does Toast in the Alpha Tauri. Recole in the Haas. IRL Mr. Bucket in the other Alpha Tauri. And Beans F1 in the Mercedes, who have yet to set flying laps, by the way. And Beans is currently on a valid flying lap. But what is this lap going to be? He really needs to nail this Sector 3. This is where he's losing the most time, and I think he's just backed out of this lap. I think he has backed out of this lap. Maybe something happened. Lost a lot of time, and he's not going to... Oh, this is an outlap. Excuse me. I was like, why is he going so slow on a flying lap? No, this is an outlap. I got caught up because he apparently likes to run hot lap ERS on an outlap. That's okay. Anyway, Beans F1 coming down the straight here. The Instagram man not utilizing the outside track limits, as being fairly cautious after his invalidation through turns 1 and 2 on his last flying lap, taking the outside racing line there instead of the quicker line. He does get a purple Sector 1, surprisingly, so something he could be on for a top 5, maybe even top 4, maybe a front row. He does get a fairly decent exit out of turn 5, down the hill, turn 6 now, turn 7, shifting into 4th gear, up the hill to turn 8 and turn 9, should be flat out. Ooh, as he just turned in a little too late, and it was not flat out. In fact, he had to lift off the throttle completely. IRL Mr. Bucket has retired from the session. He has lost it at turn 1 and turn 2. Beans went off the track, but it did not count as an invalidation, so he can still complete this lap now. Going through the final couple of corners now, he's going to be getting a lot of dirty air from that Renault. The Renault gets out of the way beautifully there at the final corner. Russian Vlad in P8 there. Mr. Beans F1 is finally going to come across the line. What is this lap going to be? It's going to be P11. So obviously he's not losing time in the first sector. I really think he's losing a lot of time in the middle sector and, of course, the third sector. That final chicane was not very good from the Mercedes man. He's definitely going to want to improve on that time. We do have a lot of drivers on flying laps, especially a Haas, a Red Bull, and a McLaren here, which is Verlies and Dylan. Getting a little argy-bargy, getting a little too close to each other here on their flying laps, trying to fight for that front row position. I'm surprised Thermal Aberker has actually come out on the track. I thought he would have been safe by now, but he thinks no. Or he thinks not, excuse me. Anyway, Dylan coming across the line now, trying to pick up a little bit of a toe from the Red Bull there, as he does go quicker. He does a 1:15.6, so only 2/10 off a pole now. They have to rush back to the pit lane. There's a little argy-bargy there going on with, I believe, 6 yards out in the race, or in the Alfa Romeo, and a Haas, I believe, Alpha Integral. Alpha Integral has gone on to those medium compound tires, and so does Fructose Alarm in the other Alfa Romeo, so he's obviously not preferring track position. Overtaking in real life can be difficult around this track. I really don't think it's that difficult in the game. You just have to go... You just have to send it into either turn 1 or turn 10. Maybe turn 4, if you're really lucky. And yeah, you can get moves done around this track, but who knows? Who do you think is going to grab pole?
I think Thermal's going to keep it. He does look quite strong, but Dylan is not that far behind. But both the top two are very close, but it'll be very interesting as well. Obviously, some people might have got new stuff for their setup, for new wheel and gears and stuff. It's going to be hard to get used to, but
yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Christmas time, everybody getting new wheels and stuff, switching from controller to wheel. Who knows? But I really think Gunther Steiner could have had pole here. I didn't expect him to be that far down. Maybe he's hiding a little bit of pace. Same with A. Williams. A. Williams, very consistent driver. He comes around the final corner and he is going to pit. Skeptics is also going to pit. Toast.
Gunther Steiner does lose it as he goes up the hill, goes into the...
Oh, and he's gone into the wall.
And retires.
Ooh, he lost it at the curb of death, too. Oh, poor guy. Let's see if we can go on board with the Ferrari of Cato Faman. And see...
and there's been another retirement from the Haas.
There goes the Red Bull. And the Haas, yeah. Where was the Haas? At turn 4. That's very odd. Very odd place to lose it. So, unfortunately, IRL Mr. Bucket, for the second time this season, will be starting at the back of the grid. Thermal Burker could take the lead for the most poles, or excuse me, for the most wins in a season today. So could Fructose Alarm or Dylan if they win today. The Ferrari of Cato Faman.
Fructose Alarm is about to cross over. Gets fastest sector 3 and goes P2 on the medium compound tire.
Wow, that is a quick lap from the Alfa Romeo. A 1:15.5 on mediums. That's insane. Imagine what he's going to do on softs. I think he will be definitely happy with that lap. Yeah, he's on the front row. He also does need to be worried about Dylan in P2 because there's definitely time to find for Dylan. Xavi Footy in the Mercedes goes P4 ahead of Verlies in the Red Bull. A. Williams coming back out onto the track. We do have a little bit of a car park down at turn 2, and I believe has the AlphaTauri lost it? Yes, the AlphaTauri has lost it, and he is also missing an end plate. So that's quite a shame for the AlphaTauri there. He's on an outlap too, so he lost it on an outlap, which is very embarrassing for him. He'll probably be kicking himself for that as Russian Vlad goes past. He is also on an outlap. The Racing Point of, I'm just going to call him Sharks, is not on an outlap. He's on a flying lap, but he has invalidated, so there's definitely time to find for him. He might not have time to go back into the pit lane. He's going to cut it close here if he does want to change on to a fresh set of soft tires. But the final few minutes here in this qualifying session are coming to an end as Beans, who is invalidated 2 out of his 3 laps here in this qualifying session, is coming out.
A. Williams also invalidates.
He is on an outlap, but not a good start. As Beans coming around turns 1 and 2, taking a little cautious there. That's a very surprising line. Same through here. I'm surprised he doesn't use the inside more of turn 3 to get a tighter line into there, and that is a Alfa Romeo of 6 yards out. He's down in P17, and he is also out of contention for anything above 17th, as he gets in the way of Alpha Integral as well. Alpha Integral probably not going to be pleased with this, and he's still keeping in the way of the Haas now. And the Haas must be absolutely livid as he does let the Haas by. Oh my goodness, they've actually made contact. That was a botched overtake. Or, well, a let-through from 6 yards out there. I'm not quite sure what the Alfa Romeo was even thinking. But Beans coming through the 3rd sector. He has not invalidated this lap, so there is still potentially a top 10 for Beans F1. There's around 2 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in this qualifying session. Beans comes around the final corner. He's out of ERS. He goes P8 with a 1:16.8. 1/100th off of A. Williams. So, yeah, I bet there's definitely time to find for Beans F1, but it doesn't look like, and I think he's hit a wall or something because he's understeering quite a lot.
Been in a retirement, I believe.
6 yards out, and I believe he's retired in the pit lane as Beans is in the gravel, and he's probably going to retire as well. So there goes Beans. Verlies is coming across the final corner now, and he is he's going to be starting his final flying lap as Beans does in the end retire from this session on track too. So let's hope his AI doesn't cause a problem for anybody out there, as Verlies comes through turns 1 and turn 2, being a lot more confident than Beans in the Mercedes there, but coming through turn 3 up to turn 4. Wow, really aggressive on those downshifts there, I see. Anyway, the Red Bull coming through turn 5 now. Ooh, big lockup. He's going to lose a lot of time there, but there is still time to find, and I don't believe Thermal Burker, Fructose Alarm, or Dylan, our top 3, are going to come out on track. But Verlies can definitely make up quite a lot of time as the Ferrari of Cato Faman retires at the entrance of turn 4. Verlies definitely, his tires are definitely screaming now. He's losing quite a lot of time through this first sector. Dylan retires in the pit lane. No surprise there as Toast gets out of the way for Verlies, who really is getting loosey-goosey through this final sector. And what the? If that was not a corner cut, I don't know what is. And he does back out of that lap eventually because he knows he's not going to improve. And that is Red Bull's qualifying session over and done with. Red Bull are probably going to be very disappointed in that qualifying P6 and P7, especially from Gunther Steiner. He definitely could have gotten a top 3, a top 4. Great qualifying from the Mercedes, P8 and P5 for the two Mercedes. I'm not sure this is allowed, doing donuts on the pit straight. As Verlies does retire in the end. Abe Williams, I believe, has just lost the car or something. He's not going to be able to improve, and I think that's our grid, ladies and gentlemen. We do have Thermal Burker coming across the line. He's going to start a new flying lap, and actually, you know what? We haven't gone on board for a flying lap with Thermal Burker, so let's do it. Braking around 75 meters using all the outside curb, missing the apex just a little bit, and he definitely could have carried more speed through here. He's probably going to be kicking himself for that. Does take the tighter line up through turn 3. Puts a little bit more wear on your tires, but it is definitely worth it on a hot lap. Third gear through turn 4, definitely interesting. Using all the track on the right-hand side into turn 5 now. Short shifting up to third gear on the exit, going down through turn 6 into turn 7, braking very late.
Ooh, and Toast loses it on the final corner.
Toast.
As he did get past his sector 2.
Damn, Toast.
But does lose it.
Toast, unfortunately, his qualifying is over. Same with the Burkers. He invalidated at turn 8. So, very interesting there. But there is no need to worry because Fructose was on a lap, but he is unfortunately invalidated. And that's our grid, ladies and gentlemen. That is our grid. So Thermal Burker, I believe, gets his first pole, which means he is tied with Gunther Steiner on the second most poles in Tier 2. Fructose Alarm, of course, has 2 poles, so he still leads. And he is definitely the favorite for the win today, being on the preferred strategy, starting on those medium compound tires. Who knows what's going to happen today, man? Thermal Burker's quick, so is Fructose Alarm. The Red Bulls are definitely going to be making a little bit of a charge through the field there. And we do have a couple drivers out of position today, like Russian Vlad, like Toast, and IRL Mr. Bucket, of course. Yeah. So if we can just have all these drivers retire. Oh, we're just waiting on the Alfa Romeo. We're just waiting on Fructose Alarm. So definitely interesting qualifying.
Yeah, definitely interesting. But we do have Monaco next week, which will be more interesting in my opinion.
Crap. I did not know Monaco was next week. That's going to be a little bit of a worry. That's going to be fun to commentate too. Or at least for qualifying. The race might not be so fun, but... Qualifying at Monaco, probably the best qualifying session out of any race on the calendar.
Yeah.
After Monaco, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna pull up the calendar, and I have been pinged in the Discord. Oh no, it was just me 6. Where is the calendar? So we do have Canada after Monaco, Austria after Canada. Round 8 is going to be Hungary, Belgium, Italy, Singapore. We have Great Britain out of position there, and a surprisingly interesting track to league race on, USA. You don't see USA in many leagues anymore.
I have raced in a couple in US. Quite a fun track, to be honest.
It is a fun track. It's a challenging track actually to nail.
Yeah.
But
especially weaving in and out.
yeah, the first sector's pretty fun.
Yeah, pretty hard in my opinion. Always spin off, but you learn from it.
Just gotta send it through there. It's really how you find time on that track. Anyway, finding time on this track. A lot of drivers need to learn where to find time, especially in the third sector. You can definitely maximize the outside track limits in this third sector, as we have T-minus 15 seconds until the start of the race. Alfie says, I got a podium in a league race at USA last week. Well, congratulations, Alfie. How was that? My first league podium. Wow. Congratulations. As we do have all 20 drivers. Oh, and Gunther Steiner starting near the back of the grid. Why is Gunther Steiner starting at the back? That,
Whoa, I've just noticed that too. This is just getting
definitely interesting. So, everybody outside the top 10, and that includes Toast because he did qualify 11th. Got moved up to 10th because of Gunther Steiner's penalty. Has started on the medium compound tires. The rest of the top 10 has started on the soft tires, excluding Fructose Alarm, who is on those medium compound tires. He is going to have to do a lot of work on this formation lap to really warm up those tires. This start is going to be very interesting because Fructose Alarm, although he's quick, he's going to have a very difficult time trying to make up places, especially on these first opening laps. And around lap 5, lap 6, I think we can definitely see him moving up the grid. But who knows? It's Spain. Anything could happen at turn 1. It's fairly hard on this first lap, as IRL Mr. Bucket, to add to his troubles, along with the Haas of Recall, have been disqualified from the formation lap, so that's absolutely fantastic for them. Anyway, Thermal Burker probably going to want to push away from P2 and P3. Dylan is going to want to get into P2 as soon as possible. He can just clear that Alfa Romeo and fight Thermal Burker. These top 3 are very, very close on pace, but who knows what the strategy is going to be. Thermal Burker on pole with Alarm in P2, Dylan P3 with A. Williams in P4, Xavi in P5 with the top Red Bull in P6, and I say that as he actually spins off the track there, so he's going to have grass on his tires, which is not going to be fun for him. The racing point of Sharks is in P7, the lead racing point. Beans at P8, great qualifying for him after those 2 invalidated laps. I believe he actually had 3 invalidated laps in the end. Skeptics in P9, and Toast rounding out the top 10. Russian Vlad in P11. Toast is definitely going to be one to look out for on these first few laps. Obviously, starting on those medium compound tires, the top medium runner, except for Alarm in P2. But we should be going to 5 red lights any time now. As we are going to go to 5 red lights. Or we should go to 5 red lights. The 5 red lights are not on at the moment. Maybe just waiting for a driver to ready up. Somebody's Wi-Fi not doing so good. Who knows? 33 laps. Painstaking, challenging laps ahead of us here. As we go to 5 red lights on ahead of the drivers. And they are off. It's a fairly decent getaway for Fructose Alarm, surprisingly. But also A. Williams and Dylan are challenging him up ahead. Thermal leads into turn 1, and it's actually been a terrible start for Alarm. He's down in P5 now as Dylan makes contact with the Red Bull of Verlies, who has had a fantastic start from P6. He's made up 4 positions already, and we have the 2 Hasses down at the back there. Gunther Steiner has made up 3 places, and that is Dylan out and off the track. He has been spun.
Goes up 7 places, Gunther Steiner.
Wow, Gunther Steiner has absolutely had an amazing start. He's up to P13 already. But it is a Williams 1-3 split by the top Red Bull of Verlies, with Fructose Alarm in P4, Beans in P5, Toast, I said look out for him, definitely wanted to look out for him. He's in P6 now. IRL Mr. Bucket has gotten his first time penalty of the race. Sharks in P7 maintaining position on the opening lap, as I say that as Archie has actually gotten past him as well. Recole down in P20, he's stopped on the track. I don't know if he is going to retire or something. Sken Len has had.
Mr. Stanley goes up to P11 now as he overtakes.
He is on a roll now. 9 positions on the first lap. I wonder if he's done that completely cleanly. He doesn't have any damage, and Recall has retired from this session, unfortunately for him. It's going to be a one-stop strategy for these medium runners, mediums to hards, as Thermal Burker does get the fastest lap of the race, as A. Williams has retired. What has happened there? A. Williams retiring in the pit lane, I believe.
So I did Mr. Bucket.
IRL Mr.
Bucket just retired.
Oh, wow. This is, darn.
I was just about to say A. Williams did get a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, A. Williams. I don't know why he retired, though. There was no damage for him. Skenislen does have to serve... Oh, no, he was just waiting for his teammate and his slow Renault pit crew now, unfortunately for him. So that's not going to be very fun. Russian Vlad in P16. It's been a horrible start for Dylan in the McLaren. He'll probably be kicking himself for that start. Surprisingly, he does go on to another set of soft compound tires, so it's either going to be a 2 or a 3 stop for him today. I don't even know what happened to him. Did he get hit by the Red Bull?
I do not know. I wasn't paying attention.
I was watching a burger in the Williams, and all of a sudden he spun out at turn 3. I wonder if he just did that on his own, which is very surprising for a man as Dylan. But yeah, good start for the Red Bull of Verlaine, making up 4 positions at the start. Congratulations to Gunther Steiner, making up 11 positions here on these first couple laps, as Thermal Burker goes into the pit lane as well as Verlaine, so immediately changing off of the soft compound tires as Verlaine gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is not going to be good news for the Red Bull driver. Red Bull's day is getting even worse, as Alpha Integral gets a 5-second penalty in the other Haas for speeding in the pit lane. As Toast F1 moves up to P2, he's gained 8 positions. Technically 9 if you count Gunther Steiner.
Yeah, he's gone up 16 places, and so has Archie, who has also gone up 15 places. So a good start for those 2 drivers, as Archie does go P3 and Gunther Steiner P4.
That's insane, man. That is... Wow, what a start from Archie as well. I didn't even know he was up here. But yeah, Fructose Alarm now in the prime position to win this race. This is exactly what he needed. A first lap safety car for all those soft runners to get off, lose track position, and now he can just run away with it. This is looking really good for Alfa Romeo. Skenislen gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, so that's not good news for Renault. Their drivers are currently 14th and 17th. Same with McLaren. McLaren 13th, 15th. Alpha Integral P16, the only Haas running, as Verlaine gets a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Thermal Burger. So does Verlaine have damage? And I believe he did.
Nice question, but Russian does pick up the 2nd time penalty.
And I do believe, yes, Verlaine does have damage there, as you can see. And what is Verlaine doing here? He's overtaking everybody under the safety car. And this is a glitch, specifically at this track, where you can overtake in the 3rd sector under safety car. It has happened in a couple of my leagues that I've been in before. And
Gunther Steiner does lose.
Oh, Gunther Steiner's lost.
In sector 3.
What has happened to him? Nonetheless, who cares? He's still made up 14 positions. I think he'll be loving the fact that he is in P6 right now. Definitely in contention for a podium. Or maybe even a little more. Anyways, Toast F1. I said he was out of position at the start. He's now back in where he is supposed to be. He's probably going to drop down from the likes of Archie, Gunther Steiner, a Burger, Beans, in the end. Maybe even Dylan, if Dylan could catch up. He's going to have to do a lot to be able to get a podium in today's race, but who knows what's going to happen.
As the top 6 haven't pitted yet, as the rest of the races have. So interesting strategies by them, as they might feel comfortable or they're already started on the mediums.
This is definitely what these top 6 drivers needed here. Everybody on those softs getting off the softs early, because at this point, if we did have 4 laps of racing, those softs would probably be at around 50% right now. Yeah, so Fructose Alarm especially, he's in the prime position to win this race now, as I've said multiple times. How many people do we have watching the stream, actually? I haven't actually checked the stream in a while. 18 people watching. Thank you to the 18 people watching. I don't even know if TRL has applied for an affiliateship yet, but make sure to follow the Twitch if you want to see more TRL streams, not just from me, but from the other commentators as well, as the safety car is coming in this lap Fructose Alarm. We've seen what he can do under a safety car restart, as Toast F1 does get a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Archie. I believe Archie actually rear-ended him there. So not his fault. Oh, as Archie actually loses it. What has happened to the Ferrari? As Fructose Alarm has retired from the session. Oh, and there has been a massive glitch there, as Xavi Foot has just gone airborne and is basically in outer space, as the two Renaults are fighting down into turn 1 now. But Toast has a 2.3 second lead out in front from Cato Faman in the lead Ferrari. What has happened on that restart? I was looking at the stream. I didn't even see what was going on. Gunther Steiner in P3. He and Thermal Burkhardt, the two championship rivals, battling side by side. Thermal Burkhardt just gets ahead of the Red Bull there. The Red Bull has to back out into turn 5. 6 yards out in the lone Alfa Romeo now in P5. The two, as he gets really loosey-goosey onto the grass there, as Xavi Foot has finally left the session there. Beans F1 has dropped down 7 places from the start, as Skeptics trying to go down the inside of turn 9. Fantastic move for the Racing Point driver, but he's now going to have to defend, and I think he got a legal overtake there, and he does let the Alfa Romeo back pass. As the other car guy going down the inside, as Sharks goes off the track, and he's going to lose places and places and places because of that, and we are actually in the middle of a car park right now. All the way from Skeptics, from Russian Vlad, I do believe. Or actually, Skin is Len.
Yeah, it's just Archie just picked up a 3-second time penalty. I don't know if he has any more. Yeah, it's just picked up a 3-second.
Yeah, and that makes his total 8 seconds. With that safety car restart crash with Toast in the AlphaTauri, who leads by 2.7 seconds. He's probably going to be enjoying that lead, but he knows that the likes of Gunther, Thermal Burkhardt are coming for him, and especially Dylan, who goes down the inside of Archie at turn 3. This is going to be a fantastic move for the McLaren if he could pull it off. He's actually going to get 2 drivers here as Verlies goes off the track. What has happened there? Did he lose it on his own? Did he make contact with one of the McLarens? Who knows? Maybe one of the Renaults. But great move for Dylan. He's up into P7 and maybe wanting P6 very, very soon. He is definitely out of place and is going to want to make up positions. Is he going to get past Skeptics on this this next straight here? 6 yards out, definitely holding up this field of cars. As, Dylan almost rear ends the back of the Racing Point. That would have not been good for the McLaren. As 6 yards out, definitely holding up the Racing Point quite a lot here. As Dylan's, holy shit! What has happened there? Russian Vlad, way too late on the brakes. He absolutely takes out Skeptics in the Racing Point. What the hell has happened there? As for Lies,
I didn't see that.
He broke like 50 meters late. What? I really hope one of the admins or one of the founders is watching this right now, because this is absolutely insane. And yeah, this is crazy. Crazy. Holy crap. Are we gonna have another safety car?
And it just keeps getting worse.
No, you're fine. Were you commentating last week? Did you watch the race last week?
I didn't commentate. I commentated round 3 at the Netherlands, but I didn't commentate last week if there was a race.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, sorry. I meant the Netherlands. Yeah, was the Netherlands like this? Was it as dirty as this?
A bit. Tier 2, of course. What we're commentating now was very interesting. A lot of DNFs, a lot of people angry in the chat. But it's a difficult circuit. Underestimating the circuit as it's a new one. But Tier 1 was a very, very good race in my opinion, as it got very close.
Cool.
But
ERS, I forgot to mention ERS around this track. I would know from experience that ERS is very difficult to conserve around this track, and Toast F1's lead is going to come to an end here, probably on this straight. He has used up all of his ERS. He has nothing to defend with. Thermal Burkhardt, much quicker, has the DRS, and I think this is going to be an easy move for a Burkhardt when he decides to make it, of course, and he might be able to get him into turn 3. Gunther Steiner now moves up into P3, gets past Kato in the Ferrari. Dylan moves up to P5 as Russian Vlad, out of nowhere, just yeets Skeptics in the Racing Point off the road, pretends like he doesn't even exist, as the other car guy is in P6 in the other McLaren, so very good recovery so far from the McLaren drivers, as Thermal Burkhardt does get into the lead there. Toast Is he wise, or is he naive? If he is wise, he will not try and overtake Thermal, and there's not a chance that he's going to overtake Thermal. Thermal already pulling 7/10 to Toast, as Fructose Alarm has now left the session. We have 6 retirements, and we haven't even made it a third of the way through this race. At this point, at this rate that we're going, we might as well just have 4 runners finish the race instead of 14.
Well, don't forget, Toast F1 does have a 5-second time penalty, so Augustus Stein does move up to currently P2, although he's currently P3 due to the penalty. So does the Ferrari Kato Faman, if I did pronounce that correct, is also, I believe, in the podium position due to the penalty.
He is, yeah.
Toast F1.
I think Toast and Kato are definitely similar on pace. Who knows, though? Toast's tires have to be screaming right now. He's understeering all over the place. This is, yeah, his tires probably screaming. As Gunther Steiner really needs to close up to the AlphaTauri now and pass him, and quickly. Because if he doesn't, it's going to be devastating for him, really. That win diminishing, falling away from him every lap as Thermal Burker sails off into the distance from Gunther Steiner. Currently, I think about 2.8 seconds back. As Toast definitely, I think, as we watch the Delta here, is this where Gunther Steiner really makes up all the pace on the AlphaTauri? Or is it the second sector? Definitely made up 3 whole tenths through there. Losing a little bit of time there, taking it very, very conservative through these final 2 corners. Coming across the line now. Yeah, and I do think that is where he's making up most of the time. He made up a net 3/10 there in the middle sector. So who knows? Who knows? Dylan is dropping back from his pack a little bit, and I'm quite surprised, actually, because who knows what the heck happened to Dylan? Does he have a little bit of damage? Let's see. 'Cause he's...
Spectix does go into the pit.
Spectix is in the pits. I wonder if he retires, actually. Yeah, Dylan has no damage, but he's just falling back on the pace a little bit. Let's check his ERS, actually. He does have plenty of ERS, around 70% left. Verlies picks up his first penalty of the race, 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. What a shame. As Gunther Steiner finally gets past... Ooh, what has happened to the Ferrari? Toast!
Toast goes into the wall.
Toast is off the track. What has happened? Archie has lost it.
From my point of view, what I just saw, he just lost it. Just driving, clipped the curb and just went into the wall.
Archie is in the wall on the exit of turn 5, and Toast was off the track on the exit of turn 8. What has happened there? Was there a little bit of contact between him and Steiner? Who knows? But Steiner now in P2.
Sure.
Probably going to be loving that.
I'm going to be honest, but I only saw it for a split second, but it did look like he just lost it from himself.
So no touching.
That's going to go, I believe, not so, but that could get reviewed by the stewards.
I have lost all HUD. Oh, there we go. That is very surprising indeed, as Toast pits, I believe, for a new front wing as well. No new front wing. Is going to serve his 5-second... Holy crap. Sken Islen has been disqualified from this session for officially receiving too many warnings. So that is Sken Islen out of this race.
I did forget. He did have a drive-through penalty. So I think he forgot about it. Therefore he got disqualified.
Ooh. That's not fun. Maybe my prediction was right.Maybe we are only going to have, like, 4 or 5 runners at the end of this race. Anyway, Beans. Slowly making his way... can't speak. Slowly making his way up the field. Back into the points. Verlies is back into the points. Alpha Integral in the points. He's made up 8 positions since I last checked him. Archie finally leaves the session. Gunther Steiner has made up 2 seconds on the last lap to Thermal Burker.
Yeah, he was, I believe, like 5.6 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
now I've reduced it to 3.6, so improving quite a lot.
Very interesting, as we do have a little action going on here in the third sector between Alpha and Toast. These two have gotten really close to each other, as Alpha has been off the track, and he has no wing, and that's just going to allow Toast by. Toast says thank you very much, and he moves into P8, so that's that. Thermal Burker, I wonder if he's being... I'm sorry if anybody heard that noise, that was actually my chair. Thermal Burker maybe driving a little too conservative here, really looking after these tires. I wonder if he wants to take these tires as far as he possibly can, seeing as they are 3 laps younger than Gunther Steiner's. Skeptics does get the fastest lap of the race. He moves past Alpha Integral into P10, so does Beans as well. He's up into P11 now. Scanizlen finally leaves the session, and it has been a crapshoot for half the grid here, as we have almost officially lost half the grid. We just need 2 more drivers to retire, then we will have lost half the grid.
Toast F1 just pitted for the hard tyres, which could last him till end of the race, as there is around 20 laps remaining. But
that's gonna be...
I do not know.
That will be pretty hard to do, to take those tires to the end. I do want to say that Burker picked up the pace a little bit on that final lap, and he made up about a second on Gunther Steiner. And actually, if we check the race director here, let's actually look at these guys' times. So on that last lap, Burker did a 1:19.5. On that last lap, Gunther Steiner did a 1:20.3. So he made up 8 tenths to Gunther Steiner on that last lap. And he's making up even more time. There goes another 5 tenths into his lead. Or to extend his lead. Maybe it'll be 6 tenths. There he goes. There's 6 tenths. Ladies and gentlemen, a Burker is flying. And that lap that Gunther Steiner made up all that progress on the Williams has now faded away into the distance. And Gunther Steiner really needs to pick up the pace if he does want to try his hand at P1. Or he just needs a Burker to retire. Holy shoot. A Burker has done a 1:18.7 fastest lap of the race, so that's about a second quicker than his previous final lap. So just as I said, Burker was driving too conservative. He is now really picking up the pace. Dylan is back up into P3 where he started, and now it's just to chase down. His goal is now to chase down Gunther Steiner. And actually, let's look at the records here. So, unfortunately, Fructose Alarm will not be taking the lead of the most wins here in this tier. Right now, Gunther Steiner would still have only 1 win, and or excuse me, he doesn't even have a win. I'm a little slow today. Thermal Burker would make that 2 out of 4 wins. 2 wins in 4 races, so 50% win ratio. That is a really good win ratio, if I do say so myself. So yeah, Thermal Burker. He won the first race in Australia, I believe, as Alpha Integral spun and has reset to track and has almost been lapped and has gone back into the pits. And there is a virtual safety car for that incident. Great.
Plus, Steiner does go into the pit, so he might go on the another set on the mediums or goes on to the hards. But as you said earlier, the hards are quite hard around this track, so it'll be very interesting.
Oh, Beans gets a drive-through penalty just to make his life worse for speeding under the VSC. That is not that's not going to be very helpful to him. Gunther Steiner does pit onto the hard tires, and I think that is a very wise choice because he has lost, or he has gained quite a lot of time on Thermal Burker. And in fact, he should almost, if he can, really pick up the pace now on these fresh hards, get him up to temperature pretty quick, and really just fly, really push these next couple laps. He could be really close to Thermal Burker once a Burker pits, because Gunther Steiner did have that virtual safety car when he was going into the pits to help him, so who knows? This could be very interesting indeed. But if Thermal Burker pits in the next, I would say, 3 laps, he'll come out in the lead easily. That being said, you don't know what's going to happen.
He does stay out for this lap.
He does, yeah. As Dylan maybe going to want to think to go on to another set, or excuse me, just pit again. Oh, as he's actually lost it at the final corner. Got onto the grass a little bit. Very sloppy from Dylan there. He's probably going to be kicking himself about that. Maybe a mild heart attack as a side effect.
Beans just got a 3-second time penalty, and also Dylan's teammate in the McLaren, that other guy, Card, did a couple of seconds ago, did pick up another 3-second time penalty.
Not good for him.
I believe. I think I'm wrong.
Oh, then there's another 3 seconds for
just
Beans.
Picked up another.
Oh. It's not looking good for Beans, and he does have that drive-through to serve as well. Or has he already served that? 6 yards out, gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He was previously P7. He started on those medium compound tires. He's going to go to hards, presumably, I would believe. He's taken those about halfway, so very good tire management from him. Actually, quite impressed, actually, from that tire management. So Verlies is now on a comeback as well. He is back up into the points in P10. Thermal Burker is actually about to lap these guys, which is very, very sad. Yeah. And I did say Gunter Steiner did need to close up to Thermal Burker just a little bit. I don't think that's going to happen. He's driving very, very conservative now. There is one more option for him if he does want to retain, or if he wants to get back into the lead. And that is going on to a set, or excuse me, just playing it really conservative now, keeping that pace up a little bit, but playing it fairly conservative, and then really going balls to the walls when Thermal Burker gets out of the pit lane. If he can do that, Thermal Burker's really going to struggle warming up those hard tires. Who knows what could happen there. Same with Dylan as well, who I think will come out behind regardless. Dylan, speaking of that, got a 5-second or 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. His Skeptics is back into the pit lane, so I wonder what's happened to him. Toast moves up into P7. Beans is pitting as well, presumably to serve as drive-through. Yes, he will be serving as drive-through on this lap, as Verlies is going to move up into P8, so a couple more positions there for the Red Bull driver, and he has still not been lapped yet, so congratulations to him. Yeah, that's pretty shocking. I feel bad for the guys who've been lapped already, and only 12 runners left in this race. Dylan gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so Gunter Steiner will definitely overtake Dylan in this pit lane. It's going to be close, actually. Or it actually is not going to be close, because here comes Gunter Steiner crossing the line, and he is ahead of the McLaren, as the McLaren just comes out of the pit lane now. That gap has shrunk, though. Dylan really doing a good job there on those old mediums, and he's now onto a fresh set of medium compound tires, and that is not good for him. Now he has to re-overtake Alpha Integral, and that was easier said than, or that was easier done than said, surprisingly. Yeah, anyway. I don't really know what to feel about this race. It's, obviously it's always good to have drama in a race, but, then everything kind of settles out a little bit. I mean, nobody has DRS on anybody. The closest one would be Beans on Skeptics, maybe that other car guy on Kato in the Ferrari for P4 and P5.
Yeah, definitely.
But everybody's
as I just saw,
really spread out. And it's really just...
Verlies just did pick up 3-second time penalty, and so did Alpha just picked up 3-second time penalty.
I think this race will be decided by penalties, especially for the ones who got involved in incidents and are still left in this race. I think the stewards may be a little too harsh with penalties this weekend. Hopefully they are. Because this is not what you want to see in a league race. You want to see clean racing, good overtakes, not a bunch of collisions. So,
yeah. To be fair, there was a lot of collisions in the last race of the Tier 2 at Netherlands.
Oof. And I believe
3/4 of the
Australia
disqualified.
might as well just be an open lobby. Australia wasn't this bad, but it was pretty bad. So yeah. Thermal Burker now. You know what? I actually think I'm gonna place bets here. Thermal Burker may extend this stint because he is maintaining a 30-second gap to the car behind, which is really freaking impressive. He might extend this stint and go on to soft compound tires at the end.
He has done 15 laps already. No, 16 laps already now on the medium compound. So I don't know how long he is gonna last on the mediums there.
Yeah.
But if he's maintaining the pace, he might as well stay on them, as he has got a 30-second lead.
Definitely going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Dylan, I want to say, is now all over the back of Gunther Steiner for P2. And he does have the fresher compound of tires, and he'll easily take those to the end of the race. Gunther Steiner may have the edge on him near the end of the race. But for right now, it looks like Dylan, at the rate he's going, is going to pass Gunther Steiner fairly quickly. Either that or these two could come to blows, and it would be very devastating. Thermal Burker could actually make 2 pit stops right now and still come out in P1.
Yeah.
Which is really funny and really sad at the same time that his race has been that good. And also, congratulations to him, you know?
That other guy does go on the outside of the Ferrari and gets a clean overtake as he moves up to P4, and there's some good points there for the McLarens as they are in a podium position and just outside.
Ferrari runs off the track there. Got onto the grass a little bit.
3-second time penalty. And Beans just got another 5-second penalty, sorry, for speeding in the pit lane.
Very odd. I'm going to take tires off, and I'm going to put penalties on. Beans with 11 seconds of penalty. Oh my god. The other car guy is in a really good place right now. If he can close up to his teammate, actually, he could, within 5 seconds, if he gets within 5 seconds of his teammate, he could actually get a podium here. Very unlikely, seeing as Dylan has been the lead McLaren all this week, or all this, for the majority of today, except for the brief stint where that other car guy was in front.
Yeah, definitely.
But who knows? Another 3-second penalty for Toast. He is up to 6 seconds worth of penalties now. Gunther Steiner and Thermal Burker, congratulations to them. They've picked up no penalties. Driver of the day right there.
Thermal, if you just didn't see, I just did pit last lap for fresh stint of mediums, as we was thinking he might go on the soft compound tyres, but he has stayed on the medium compound tyres due to obviously increasing his speed in the last stint of the medium compound tyres, as going around 18 laps on the medium compound tyres, and has now got 8.6 gap between him and Gunther Steiner.
Speaking of Gunther Steiner,
but saying that, Dylan,
Dylan is really close to Gunther here. Still about 9/10 back, and Gunther really starting to use up a lot of ERS, whereas Dylan has a little bit more to play with. I think Dylan actually has maximized cornering speed, because even though he had DRS and none of them were using their ERS, Gunther was still pulling away on that straight. So maybe he has gone for a little bit of more cornering downforce than less drag.
I don't know if you didn't notice, but Dylan does have an 8-second time penalty.
Yeah.
Which is really huge.
That's going to cost him, actually. He needs to pull an 8-second gap, which is possible, but it's going to be really tricky. Seeing as Gunther Steiner, although he does not have the pace on a Burker today, he has been fairly decently clean. Or actually, he hasn't even gotten involved in an incident. He's been very clean.
Yeah, on the first lap, I believe he did go around 9 or 10 places, which was already huge.
That is,
as there was, I believe, a crash on turn 1.
That is insane, yeah. Thermal Burker, fastest lap of the race there, as
Yeah, in a 117.
Dylan is much closer on this occasion. That other car guy with another 3-second penalty, so his chances of getting a podium have pretty much diminished unless these two come to blows here. Dylan slowly gaining on the Red Bull of Gunther Steiner. The other Red Bull of Verlies in P8 is closing up on Toast F1 in P7. So that battle could get pretty tasty as well as Thermal Berger, pulling away every single lap. It's very, very dominant performance. It feels like Lewis Hamilton right now.
Yeah, but Dylan F is really, really close behind Gunther Steiner now. He's really caught up. Dylan's trying to... He's going to try to be patient, but trying to see if he makes that mistake to try to just push forward, as he does have a huge penalty.
He does, yeah.
But between P4 and P9, I believe he's a set. All of them got 6-second penalties.
Yeah.
But he's just trying to apply the pressure to see if he makes a mistake.
He doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to worry about anybody behind. It's really just he's got to look in front of him now because he has a 13-second gap to his teammate, and his teammate's not going to catch him. He's pulled 2 seconds with a couple laps. You know, Gunther Steiner's really his biggest concern at the moment, and he might get Gunther Steiner down this main straight. Both are using ERS. Dylan has a lot more ERS to play with. Gunther Steiner is virtually out of ERS. Is Dylan going to go for the move down the inside at turn 1? Gunther Steiner leaves him just enough room, forces him onto the apex curb there, and and they do make contact, but is it enough for a little bit of wing damage for the McLaren? No, it's not, or at least no visible damage for the McLaren. Gunther Steiner defending this place hard, but he only has around 10% ERS left, whereas Dylan has about 30-40%, maybe even 50%. Oh, as Dylan gets another 3-second time penalty, so this has really just hurt his chances now. This has really hurt his chances.
That does move up to 11-second time penalty.
And yeah, he will need to be careful about any more penalties that he does grab. 6 yards out, and Beans are currently battling. They're about to be lapped as well. So I think we might have a Daniel Ricciardo moment here where Mexico 2018. These guys don't know what they're doing. Of course, I can't say the actual line on stream, but that's okay. Oh, as Dylan actually rear ends the Red Bull of Gunther, and Beans rear-ended the Alfa Romeo of 6 yards out, and they both have wing damage. These back markers have really saved Gunther Steiner, by the way, for at least a couple more laps, and Dylan's chances of getting P2 are diminishing. Oh, as there has been a collision between 6 yards out and Beans. Beans and 6 yards out have come to blows at turns 1 and 2. They're both back on the track, but both of them have major wing damage, and that is quite a shame there.
I believe Beans might retire here, unless if he's just going to go back on track.
It has not been...
Looks like he's going to carry on.
Yeah, Beans will carry on. I think his chances at points have diminished now with 11 seconds worth of penalties out of the points currently with only 8 laps left, and he's just hit the wall again and into the gravel. If I were him right now, I would probably retire, and I think he will retire. He has retired.
Yeah, he's just retired.
It has not been a good day for Beans or Mercedes as a team. They will be getting a double retirement. Same thing with Renault. Same thing, I wanted to say Alfa Romeo for a second. No, that's a Ferrari of Archery. Or Archie. 6 yards out, now has nothing to worry about behind him, except for Alpha Integral, who could move up into the points, which would be stellar for him, but he also has wing damage and needs to pit for repairs as well, so I think those positions will stay the same. And 6 yards out, actually not coming into the pits, surprisingly, so he's just going to stick with that damage, I guess. You do you, buddy. You do you. Dylan, still not able to get past Gunther Steiner, and I think his chances at getting P2 are completely out the window at this point.
Yeah. Alpha did just pick up another 3-second time penalty, and so did the Ferrari of Kato Faman. Did also pick up a 3-second time penalty, and so did TUS F1. Just picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Kato might be at a little bit of a risk here to lose his P5 with Sharks 3.9 behind. Sharks only needs to make up about 9/10 to get that P5, but who knows? Those two are very, very even on pace by the looks of it. It's not been a good day for Racing Point as well. I bet they were expecting more. Red Bull, definitely expecting more. You know, I think a P2 and a P7, not the worst result, but not a great one either. So, they are definitely going to be kicking themselves. Dylan might actually have a go here. Using all the ERS. He's got to get past the Red Bull eventually. He's going to really send it down the inside. A little cautious. Leaves the Red Bull just enough room. And that is Dylan finally up into P2. And now comes the challenging part. Making an 11-second gap. I don't know how he's going to do that. Dylan now means... Oh, that's going to be really hard. He needs to... and at the current rate he's going, he's not going to be able to get it.
Yeah.
Those tires on Dylan's McLaren will be starting to diminish. Right about now, actually. 6 laps left.
He has done 8 laps already on the medium compound tyres, where Gustav Steiner's done 11 laps on the half.
Oh, Dylan, all loosey-goosey.
But Dylan F1,
really struggling now.
I'll say the same thing.
Gunther Steiner may be able to get him back here, actually.
Williams had a really good race at the Netherlands, and obviously had a really good race today as Thermal. As last time I saw, has doubled the lead, as he was leading by around 8 seconds last time, and just look now, he's around 17-second gap.
So it's
been a good result.
Two very dominant wins there for him.
Well, for the Williams.
Well, he hasn't won yet. He hasn't won yet. But if he does win, this is sensational from Thermal Burker. He's on a roll now.
Yeah.
And Skeptic's another 3 seconds for him, so everybody's racking up those penalties, excuse me. Yeah. And as I was saying, Sharks could take P5. He is now within the range of taking P5. Barely. He's teetering on the edge of it, 2.9 seconds. But at the rate he is right now, if the race were to stop right here, he would get P5. Kato probably fighting for all his life right now. 6 yards out.
Yeah.
Will get the final points paying positions in this race. Not been a good race for Alfa Romeo. Not been a good race for Haas. Really great race for McLaren, surprisingly. They're going to pick up P3 and P4.
Yeah, 6 yards out, just picked up another 3-second time penalty.
Not been a good race for him.
Yeah, as he moves up to an 8-second time penalty in total, as he is currently P10.
If he would have pit, he would have gotten that 5-second penalty removed. Because that was a virtual safety car collision penalty. So he would have had to serve it if he had pit. But, yeah.
Well, saying that.
Gunther Steiner, not able to close back up to Dylan. But I dare say that Dylan's chances of getting P2 are finished.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Alpha still has a chance to scratch a point away from 6 yards out, as he's gaining on him. Alpha in the Haas chasing down the Alfa Romeo, I believe.
That's true, yeah. An Alpha Integral here could actually, he needs to, first of all, pass in the next 3 laps. But he also needs to make a 1 second gap in order to get that P10. So far, at the rate he's going, he may possibly get it. But we know overtaking around this track, very, very difficult. So.
Well, 6 yards out does have, I believe, 8 second in total penalty, as a couple of minutes ago did pick up another. But Alpha does have a 9-second penalty in total. So it's going to be huge to scratch just 1 point in this race, but
Gunther Steiner not being able to pass Dylan on this occasion through the first sector. And 6 yards out, staying well clear of Alpha Integral, but is completely out of ERS. And who was that just got a penalty? It was Verlies?
Yes, it was because the Signs Red Bull teammate picked up another 3-second tie penalty just then.
As Alpha Integral is all over the back now of 6 yards out. Thermal Burker gets a new fastest lap of the race. Congratulations to him. He will be coming home with maximum points today, 26 points, as he starts the, well, not the penultimate lap of this race, but the penultimate lap of this race. If that's a thing.
As the Ferrari, I believe it just...
Here goes Alpha.
Goes
Alpha Integral down the inside, around the outside, does the little switchback, and not going to be able to gain that place down into Sector 3, so going to have to wait one more lap then to grab that place.
Well, Kato Fahaman did just picked up previously another 3-second time penalty, so the racing points, I believe, is going to go to P5 now, due to the amount of time penalties.
Yeah, I think it is pretty safe to say that
yeah,
Sharks will move up into P6. Here comes Alpha Integral. He gets squeezed almost off the track there. The Alfa Romeo weaving all over the place. He tried to send it down the inside as well, I believe, and that just did not work for him. And that is Alpha Integral up into the points. Congratulations to him. He has already made that 1 second gap, and I think he's just going to pull away now. Probably going to think about using a lot of that ERS. And, yeah, well, there you go. Thermal Burker.
Excuse you?
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. This race, not the most exciting to commentate.
Yeah, true, but it's first race back. Everybody could be a bit rusty. Like I said earlier, getting used to the new stuff that they got for Christmas, like the wheel, the gears, you never know.
Definitely.
I got a full new setup.
Well, Thermal Burker is going to extend his championship lead here, and who is the Red Bull going slowly? That is Verlies. What has happened to Verlies? Has he gotten wing damage? No, he has not. I don't know what that, was for. Okay. Yeah, anyway, Thermal Burker will extend his championship lead by 26 points over Fructose Alarm in P2. Dylan is also going to grab P3 P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Actually, Gunther Steiner will grab P2 because he and Dylan are currently tied on points. Gunther Steiner will gain 3 more points on Dylan, so he will be in P2 in the championship. Dylan P3, Fructose Alarm in P4. Verlies will stay P5 in the end, and obviously, who knows what's going to happen with the rest. It's not been a good day for Ferrari, has it? Only going to score 10 points.
Nah, it hasn't.
And they've actually been left out. Actually, they're going to score their first points this weekend, so I think it's an improvement for them. They will score their first points. They have been left out of the driver's standings from last week, so either that was a mistake or they haven't actually scored points. But no matter the case, they will be picking up 8 points today. So yeah, as Thermal Burker is going to start, or excuse me, he's on the final lap of this race. He's used all of his ERS, managed it very, very nicely. Dylan has just now managed to start pulling away from Gunther Steiner in P2 there, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to come home in P3 as Thermal Burker rounding the final quarter now, crossing the line. He's going to win his second race in TRL Tier 2 as he runs out of fuel right on the line. That was very well played for him. He wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Starts off the weekend very well for the Williams team. Maybe their Tier 1 team can do even better than that. Dylan is coming around the final corner. He's unfortunately not going to be able to grab P2. He's going to grab P3 in the end. Gunther Steiner coming across the line, grabbing that P2. It's been a fantastic race for not only Gunther Steiner, but Dylan as well. Both have been on amazing comeback drives. That other car guy will grab P4 in the end, so congratulations to McLaren for a P3, P4 finish. They're definitely going to move up the ladder in the Constructors' Championship. As as Sharks, no matter what, is going to get P5 because he did manage to overtake the Ferrari of Kato in the end. And, yeah, he will come home P5, Kato P6. Verlies in P7, who just completely disregarded all track limits. As everybody else has been lapped. So, yeah. Alpha Integral comes home for P10. And that is the end of the Tier 2 Spanish Grand Prix. I've never been more bored in my life. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. And all jokes aside, congratulations to Williams. Congratulations to Gunther Steiner. He gets driver of the day, and with good reason. 18 positions gained.
Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah. Thank you guys so much, guys, for tuning into the stream. Make sure to share the stream, turn post notifications on, and make sure to follow the league's official Twitch. Thank you to Luson. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Thank you. Yeah,
Luson?
It's Luson IX.
Thank you to you for commentating with me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you to you. You too. Thank you for having me.
And hopefully we can do it again next week.
Yeah, as we got the Tier 1 race tomorrow.
Tier 1.
Make sure you come down and watch that tomorrow now. And at 6:30, I believe it starts.
Yeah, so have a fantastic rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you guys whenever I stream next. And peace!